Hi, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nicole. I'm your secretary of the County Council for the 2015 year. Yay! So I am actually not going to be there at the meeting, so I am going to prepare this presentation on presentations so that Miss Lori can show it to you all. So talking about presentations and public speaking, the difference between the two is that presentations involve props versus public speaking, it's only you. And then I believe with presentations, I'm not sure about public speaking, but you can have a team. So 2 people can do it on the same topic together. And with that, you can kind of do this dialogue, and that always looks cool. So just talking about speaking for both of them, the first thing you want to do is you want to keep your voice even. So don't make it really high and squeaky, but also don't make it too low and deep and brassy, I guess you could say. You want to keep your voice enunciated and make sure that the audience hears every word clearly. I have a problem with the word conscience. I tend to say conscience. Gets me every time. Also, you want to make sure that your gestures are appropriate. You don't want to be too big and flourishy, but at the same time you want to use them just a little bit. You want to keep your eye contact. You want to keep even eye contact with everybody, but make sure that you don't speech stock somebody. And that's where you stare at one person the entire time and you give your entire speech to them. And for them, it makes it awkward. But also, if they look away, it makes it awkward for you because the person that you were talking to, you're not talking to anymore. With your stance, when you're speaking, you want to keep a good stance, feet about a shoulder width apart. You want to keep your arms relaxed at your sides. Don't clench your fists because then you look like you're going to hurt somebody, and that's not the aura you want to give off. You want to keep your knees slightly bent and not locked like this, because if you do that, then you can pass out, and that obviously would put a damper on your speech. Also, you want to breathe. Make sure that you breathe every few words or so, because if you don't breathe, obviously you'll pass out there as well. Both of those are bad. You don't want to pass out because then bad things happen. Okay, so going on to more of the presentation type category. With presentations, you have props. Props are good because they help to enhance your speech and can make your points clear. So a common prop is the PowerPoint. And with a PowerPoint, with the format, you want to have a format that looks like this, not like this. Because with this, your screen is dark, and so some people may have trouble reading it. But also, if you'll notice, the information is tilted, and that people turn their heads to see it, and it gets very complicated for the audience. You want to have a clear format like this. Your information is all nice and straight, and your pictures look center on the screen. Going on to just the general inside the PowerPoint, with your text, you want to have obviously your title bigger, but your text should also be an appropriate size for how much is on the slide. With the color, you want to use typically a black or blue font, or black or blue color, excuse me. I would stay away from colors like light blue, yellow, pink, because people can't see those colors easily. And definitely do not use red or green, because those are the 2 colors that colorblind people cannot see. And it's not likely that your audience members are going to be colorblind, but just in case somebody is. You also, with your pictures need to correlate to what you're speaking about. Obviously, if you're talking about horses, you won't have a picture of dogs. They also need to be not too busy. You don't want to cram pictures onto the PowerPoint slide, and you want to make sure that they don't take the audience's eye away from you and onto those pictures. With your information, make sure that it's in bullet form, not paragraph form, because your audience will read your paragraph and not pay attention to you. Also, you'll find yourself reading your PowerPoint slide, and that just, it doesn't look right. And you break eye contact. You want to have it in, like I said, bullet form, and you want to have, a good number is 3 to 4 bullets per slide, but you can push it to 5. Also, your transitions, I wouldn't have fancy transitions because they take away and they also tend to waste time and they make your presentation look less professional. Going on to another form of prop, it's the note card. With a note card, this can help you to guide your points in your head and keep things clear. With a note card, you want to refer to it, not read it. I've seen people do presentations like this, and they read the note card instead of speaking to their audience, and that kind of makes the audience feel detached from the speech. It doesn't interest them. With a note card, you want to have a white color. You don't want to use red or green or yellow or orange, because the first thing to go when you're giving a speech and you're nervous is your vision. And when your vision goes and you've got a funky color like that, it gets very hard to see. And so, like I said, then you're doing this, trying to read your note card. You also want to use blue or black ink, and you could probably even use a red color. Those, again, your vision goes and you can't see any kind of ink, any kind of other color. And you want to hold your note card relaxed, because if you hold it tight and clenched, notice once I clench my note card, my entire body clenches up, even the muscles in my face. You want to keep it relaxed. Also, if you clench, it'll show the body shakes when you're nervous. And when you get the shakes, your voice starts to shake too, and that's bad. So typically kind of the last general form of prop is your general prop. My example here is this model horse. And if you were giving a presentation on, say, horse anatomy, you could use it to point out the parts of the horse. Yeah! Okay, so the last kind of prop is your general prop. And this can be a whole range of items. But my example here is this model horse. So this would be handy if I was talking about horse anatomy. I could point out the different parts of the horse. Now, again, with a general prop, you want to refer to it, not necessarily hold it in front of your face or do something crazy with it. Let's just leave it at I've seen a lot of props being misused. You also, again, don't want to clench it, because your body will clench up. And so, yeah, that's your general props. Going back to speeches in general, make sure that you dress appropriately for your speech. When giving a speech on livestock or farming, it's typical for a person to wear a nice pair of jeans and a button-down or a polo shirt. That always looks very nice for the speech. If you're giving a business-type presentation, obviously you would wear a nice suit and tie. Ladies would wear skirts. And then last kind of an example is if you're doing a cooking presentation, it might be a good idea to wear an apron, and you could even probably wear a chef hat, and that would look interesting. That would definitely bring out your presentation. Also, practice. Practice is, I'm not going to say that it makes perfect, because perfection in a human world does not exist. Humans are not a perfect creature, unfortunately. We're not perfect. So practice makes better. Practice will make sure that you know your points, and it can ease the nervousness on your speech days. Excuse me. Also, just think about, everyone gets nervous when they're giving a speech. I'm nervous right now. And I'm sure that Martin Luther King Jr. was nervous when he gave his big old I have a dream speech. And so just my point on that is, don't let it overtake you. Don't let yourself get so nervous that you do start to get the body shakes, that you do start to sweat, that you do start to get uncomfortable. Just be natural when you're speaking. And so I'm hoping that this presentation helps you guys to practice and make your presentations top of the line. And I'm looking forward to seeing them on County Activity Day.